A human being is not a person because he is a human being, but because rights and duties have been ascribed to him. Specifically, the person is that legal subject or substance of which the rights and duties are attributes. But not all humans are persons, as was the case in Old England when there were slaves. Black's Law Dictionary, 3rd edition.
You are born to beauty.
One of the biggest problems many people seem to have is understanding exactly what a person is. Now, I've stated before that you aren't a person, you have a person. And in order to understand what I mean, I ask that you look at the meaning of the word person and the assumptions that it's resting upon, the implications it creates. Historically, a person was a mask, refers to a personage, and it was what people wore when they were on stage. Now this is very important because if you come to, say, a masquerade party and you're wearing a mask and you're in my party, then I can pretty much assume that you're my guest and you have agreed to act within certain parameters. Some people think that they can enter into an agreement with their person, or as they refer to it, their straw man. The courts have recently held that that's not in fact possible. It would be very much like me entering into an agreement with my mask. The mask is evidence of a person, or let's, for the purpose of this demonstration, this mask is the person. It's a legal fiction. It exists so that others can interact with me and so that they have evidence of my consent to their governance. That's why you can't enter into a relationship, into an association with your mask. Your person isn't something which exists in association with you so much. It is something that exists because of an association that exists between you and other people. And saying that you're going to copyright your name or secure your person or redeem your person, to me doesn't make much sense. Either you're in a relationship, in an association, and thus you have a certain body of rights and duties, or you are not in that relationship and you are free of those duties and you have no claim to the rights or benefits. People have tried to act as agent for their person in court, and it has failed repeatedly.
Many people have what I believe to be seriously erroneous beliefs concerning what a person is. They believe it was created by the government, that it exists completely distinctly from them, that they can seize it, perhaps redeem it, or enter into agreements with it. I do not see how that is legally possible. Your person is that thing which exists because of a relationship between you and another party. It identifies your rights and your freedoms and your duties and obligations within that relationship. I don't see how you can enter into a relationship or into a contract with something that exists because you're in a contract with someone else. Suppose a man and a woman get married. They become husband and wife. Now the man then decides that he wants to enter into a relationship, an agreement with the husband. And then he goes out and he has sex outside of marriage. And the woman, the wife, comes and angrily asks him, "Hey, what are you doing?" And he says, "Well, it wasn't the husband who was cheating on you, it was the man." Is that possible? Does that make any sense? I don't think so. Your person identifies you essentially as a child of the province. Attempting to enter into an agreement with it and going to your nanny and saying, "Look, I'm in agreement with this thing which identifies me as one of your children," it merely confirms the fact that you are acting like a child. Your person is considered to be a benefit. And I guess if you're choosing to live your life irresponsibly, it might actually be one. However, if you accept the benefits, you're bound to bear the burdens. And to refuse to bear the burdens because you enter into an agreement with the legal entity that exists because of an association between you and the people who take care of you, it does not make lawful sense Furthermore, I believe this has already been looked at and judicially reviewed by some courts, and they found that the human being and the person are entangled to such a degree that you cannot enter into a relationship with it. You need two separate parties to contract, and although you have a person, and this person is not you, it exists separately from you in that you can disassociate from it. But if you are associated with it, that's it, you're associated, and that person which you point to is evidence of a relationship not between you and the person, but you and the people in the government. If you choose to wear what they consider to be essentially diapers, and then write on these diapers, "my property," the fact that you've written on those diapers, "my property," in no way changes the fact that you're still wearing diapers, and they will get to treat you as if you're wearing diapers. Imagine for a moment you go to a concert and you get a wristband, and they have different wristbands. One wristband allows you access upper levels only. Another wristband allows you access lower levels. Third wristband allows you access backstage. These are three separate rights and duties with certain obligations associated with it. You're the human being wearing the wristband. Can you enter into an agreement with your wristband that would change what the security people are going to allow you to do? If you were wearing a wristband that says you have access to the upper levels, can you write on it, "Oh, Rob, the man wearing it says backstage is okay," and then suddenly end up backstage? Obviously not. Your person is very much like that wristband. It's not you, but it does identify your rights, your duties, your obligations, your benefits, your burdens. It does not identify you, the human being. You cannot enter into a relationship or an agreement with it because it evidences an agreement between you, the human being, and other human beings. You can, however, disassociate from it and thus become a free man on the land.
Heidi, so what we're going to do is we're going to have a little chat about people and their persons. Now let's suppose you're a human being and your name is John Adam Doe. First of all, I think we can all agree that your parents really lacked any sort of imagination, and I feel sorry for you. Might make identifying your body very difficult. However, let's suppose this is your true name. You're a living, breathing human being, and we start right there. This is the name that is found on the record of live birth or in your family Bible. Now, John Adam Doe here, at some point, decides to engage in certain activities. Now these activities, let's say he gets a social insurance number, he applies for one, through an active application. He opens up an account with the Canada Revenue Agency, and this is the name on it. Now he has by his own action, engaged in application, and now he is accepted certain rights and duties. Now let's suppose also he goes and he gets a driver's license. He applies for that, and now he has certain rights and duties under that driver's license, and again it's always through an active application, submission of application on your part. He joins the Army, and they decide to give him the name Doe J.A., and that's what they use. Let's say he needs a hunting license. So he gets one, again through the active application. Let's say he gets a health club membership card, and he uses the name John Doe on that. So now you have a human being who has certain rights and duties. And as you can see, with every different spelling of the name, you have a different body of rights and duties. And it is this